Hi everyone, in this video we're going to learn how to solve problems involving the compound angle formula. Before we proceed to the examples, let's look at the compound angle formula that we need to know. That is the first formula. We have a sine A plus minus B equals to sine A cos B plus minus cos A sine B, meaning that if the sign here is positive, alright, when you expand it, here has to be a positive. Okay, if let's say the sign is negative, then this will be followed by negative. So how I remember is this is start from S, right? So this is the S, C, C, S like this. Alright, if you have a cos A plus minus B, you have if you expand this compound angle, you will get cos A cos B minus plus sine A sine B, meaning that the sign is reversed now. If this is a positive, if you expand it, you will get negative over here. And if this is a negative, then you need to expand it, use the sign of positive here. So this one is C equals to C, C, S, S. Okay, and then the tangent A plus minus B, okay, we just need to be careful on the sign. The sign positive here has to be positive, and down here has to be negative. If let's say you have a negative sign, A minus B, right? Then you will have tangent A minus tangent B over 1 plus tangent A tangent B. Okay, this is the formula that we need to know. Basically we need to know, we need to memorize 3 formulas, and the sign we need to a little bit sensitive with it. That is for the sign need to need to follow. If this is positive, we need to follow back the positive. If negative, then here has to be negative. But for the cos is reverse. And for the tangent, upper sign is followed back the sign here, and the sign on the denominator need to be reversed. Okay, so let's look at the first example that on the problem involving the compound angle. We have a sine A equals to negative 3 over 5 and cos B equals to 5 over 13, where the A and B at the fourth quadrant. So now the question already told you is at the fourth quadrant. Later on, you need to sketch the angle A and the angle B at the fourth quadrant, okay, at the 2 separate Cartesian plane. And after that, we need to find the sine A minus B, cos A plus B, and tangent A minus B. So for this question, I'll just show A and B, and the C I will leave it for you as a exercise. So here I get ready 2 Cartesian plane in order to sketch my angle A and the angle B. First diagram, I'm going to sketch the angle A, since the A and B fall at the fourth quadrant. So here I will sketch a right angle triangle at the fourth quadrant. Okay, this is a right angle triangle, and this angle I will label as A. So here the ratio of sine is negative 3 over 5. The negative here shows that this angle is not fall at the first and the second quadrant. So the negative shows that it fall either at the third and the fourth quadrant. I wouldn't consider the negative here. I will just consider 3 over 5. Sine A equals to 3 over 5. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So 3 will be at the opposite side, and the hypotenuse will be 5 units. Okay, so if you use the Pythagoras theorem to get the side of the adjacent, that will be 4. Okay, and next for the angle B, now I'm going to sketch another right angle triangle at the fourth quadrant for this second Cartesian plane. Okay, so here you will have another right angle triangle, and this I will label as a B. Okay, so the B you need always need to label next to the x-axis. So now you got the cos B equals to 5 over 13, right? 5 over 13 means that cos will be adjacent over hypotenuse, that the adjacent length will be 5 units and the hypotenuse length will be 13. Follow the Pythagoras theorem. Here has to be 12 units. Taking the 169, that is 13 square, minus a 5 square, you will have a 144. Yeah, square root of 144, that will be 12. So Again, we need to label A as TC. Later on, when we get the ratio of trigo, we have to be alert on the sign. Okay, so now I will start to find the sine A minus B. Sine A minus B, if you want to evaluate this sine, you need to expand it using the compound angle formula. Okay, if you already forgotten the formula, you can just refer back. Okay, but make sure after this you need to memorize it. All right, so sine A minus B is equals to sine A cos B minus cos A sine B. Now, from the diagram that I sketched above, I can just take the sine A from here, that will be 3 over 5. Since the angle is 4 at the fourth quadrant, so here has to be negative 3 over 5. And the cos B, we will refer to the second diagram. Cos B is adjacent over hypotenuse, that is 5 over 13. And cos at the fourth quadrant, it is positive, so we just leave it as a 5 over 13. And the cos A, refer back to the first diagram, adjacent over hypotenuse, that is a 4 over 5. And the angle is at the fourth quadrant, right? So at the fourth quadrant, the cosine is positive, so I'll just leave it as a positive 4 over 5. For the sine B, refer back to the second diagram. Sine is the ratio of opposite over hypotenuse, that will be 12 over 13 according to the diagram. And at the fourth quadrant, sine has to be negative, so just put negative in front of it. And then now you can just simplify it. We have 33 over 65 after we have simplified it. Next, we move to the cos A plus B. Alright, cos A plus B. Expand first. That will be cos A cos B. And the sign need to reverse from the positive. When we expand it, it has to be negative. Sine A sine B. This is a formula that we need to memorize. So cos A, we need to plug the value from the diagram, from the first diagram. Cos adjacent over hypotenuse, that is 4 over 5 and having the sign of positive. And the cos B, refer to the second diagram, 5 over 13, also positive. And the sine A actually is actually given by the question, that is negative 3 over 5, or you can get it from your diagram, no problem. And the sine B, you get it from the second diagram, that is opposite over hypotenuse, 12 over 13. And 12 over 13 having the sign of negative, because at the fourth quadrant, sign need to be negative. Now simplify, we have a negative 16 over 65. Okay, so for the question C, tangent A minus B, we are using the same approach, but now you need to use the formula of A minus B. That will be tangent A minus tangent B over 1 minus tangent A, 1 plus tangent A multiplied by tangent B. So plug in the ratio of the tangent A and tangent B based on the both diagram and put in the value and then simplify. You should get the answer. The answer should be 33 over 56, and I hope that you can take this as your exercise. Okay, try to get the 33 over 56. The second example, if the tangent A minus B equals to 2, giving you the value tangent A minus B, and given you also the tangent B equals to 1 over 4, we need to find tangent A. Okay, so just form one equation based on the tangent A minus B equals to 2. Now you need to expand the left hand side using the compound angle formula. You got a tangent A minus tangent B over 1 plus tangent A multiplied by tangent B. And this is equals to 2. Since the question already given that the value of the tangent B is equals to 1 over 4, so now I just plug in the value inside. I have a tangent A minus 1 over 4 divided by 1 plus tangent B substituted as a 1 over 4 and then multiply by tangent A. So now you gather this is equals to 2. To solve for the tangent A, I will multiply both sides by 1 plus 1 over 4 tangent A. So here I have a left hand side, tangent A minus 1 over 4, and then 2 multiplied by 1 plus 1 over 4 tangent A. Then expand the right side, you have a 2 over 1 over 2 tangent A. Okay, now we want to go solve for the tangent A. I will move every term which containing the tangent A into one side. So tangent A minus 1 over 2 tangent A, I have a 1 over 2 tangent A. And the constant, I move to the right side, I got 2 plus 1 over 4. So here I got a 1 over 2 tangent A equals to 9 over 4. And solve for this tangent A, you got 9 over 4 multiplied by 2. Finally, we have a 9 over 2. This is the question similar to the example 1 just now. We have given the two trigo ratio. One is tangent A equals to 3 over 4. The other one is cos B equals to 5 over 13, where the A is at the third quadrant and the B is at the fourth quadrant. So now you just need to build two diagrams, two Cartesian plane. One Cartesian plane is for the angle A and the other one is for the angle B. Alright, and without using calculator, you can find the value of cos A minus B. Before you find this, you need to expand this first by using compound angle formula, and then based on the diagram that you built just now, you plug in the value of the cos. Okay, when you expand this, you will get the cos A cos B plus sine A sine B. So you need to plug in those trigo ratio to the formula based on the graph or diagram that you have sketched. So now I'll try to sketch the first diagram. For the angle A, okay, angle A is at the third quadrant, so I will just sketch one right angle triangle at the third quadrant. Then I will just label the edges of the triangle based on the ratio given here. Tangent A is 3 over 4. So it's A is over here. And opposite over adjacent. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So you have a 3 over 4. Opposite length is 3. Adjacent length is 4. And the hypotenuse, you can get it from the Pythagoras theorem, which you're taking the 4 square plus 9 square and then take the square root of it. You will get 5. Okay, and based on the ASTC, now you can see that the tangent is positive at the third quadrant, so you can see the sign. Yeah, this is tally. The sign of the tangent is positive. So for the cos B equals to 5 over 13, B is the angle at the fourth quadrant. Yeah, fourth quadrant. So at the fourth quadrant, just sketch a right angle triangle. And then just label the edges of the triangle based on the ratio given. Cos B equals to 5 over 13. Here will be the angle B. And 5 over 13 will be adjacent over hypotenuse. Follow the Pythagoras theorem. The length of the opposite is the 12. Okay, so after we have this diagram, we can actually evaluate cos A minus B very easily. Okay, cos A minus B, we can expand it by using the compound angle formula. We have a cos A cos B plus sine A sine B. And now we need to put in the value, the cos A, based on the first diagram. Cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, and you have a negative sign since it is at the third quadrant. And the B, cos B, adjacent over hypotenuse, that will be 5 over 13 since it is located at the fourth quadrant, so cosine is positive. And then the sine A again is opposite over hypotenuse, that will be 3 over 5. And since this is at the third quadrant, sine need to be negative. Sine B opposite over hypotenuse, 12 over 13, and this also taking the sign of negative because it's at the fourth quadrant. And now we simplify. We have a 16 over 65 after we have simplified. Okay, for this question, without using calculator, find the values of the following. Let's look at the example A first. We have a tangent 40 plus tangent 20 over 1 minus tangent 40 multiplied by tangent 20. So we can compare with the compound angle formula for the tangent. Actually, this is in the form of the tangent A plus b. Yeah? Follow the sign of this one. If this is a positive, then this should be positive. So I can rewrite this in this form, which is, this is a tangent a plus b, where your a replaced by the 40 and the b is 20 degree. So here will be 40 plus 20. If the question state here without using calculator, so it in other words, actually it gives us the hints that we having the question which we can relate to the special angle. The special angle we have learned is a 30, 45, and 60 degree. So from here, if once you have simplified your question A, your expression in A, into its compound angle, it becomes tangent 40 plus 20. So now you can see that you can simplify into tangent 60. Tangent 60 is a special angle. 60 is a special angle. So the ratio of the tangent, you can obtain it either you memorize it from the unit circle, or you use the triangle, or you can just memorize the value. You can get the tangent 60. So we can get it. Okay, that is your third tree. Okay. Now you cannot give your answer in decimal because the question said without using calculator means that you need to give the exact value. It's not in the decimal form, but in the third form. Now we move to the B, question B. For this question, again, the question is without using calculator, evaluate this. So I will try to relate this with the special angle, which you know that the tangent 45, this is the easiest ratio that I can remember. Tangent 45 equals to 1. So the 1 here I can replace by the tangent 45. And plus tangent 15, I just copy down the second term on the numerator. And 1 minus the coefficient, as if that here is the coefficient 1. So I will put a tangent 45 to representing the coefficient 1. And this is a tangent 15. So after I have modified this expression, which I will substitute this 1 by the tangent 45, and the coefficient of 1 over here, I also replace by tangent 45. Actually, this is in the form of tangent A plus tangent B over 1 minus tangent A tangent B, where your A is 45 and the B is 15. So if you can present your expression into this form, you can say that this is equals to your tangent A plus B, where your A is 45 and the B is 15. Alright, so 45 plus 15 obtains 60. Again, you got the special angle, which just now for this the question before this, you got a tangent 60. You can evaluate it by either unit circle or triangle, or just memorize the value. Okay, so tangent 60, again we have it as a third tree, and again we are not going to give our answer in decimal because the question mentioned that exact value without using calculator. So in other words, you must give the exact value. This is another example that we are going to relate the expression to the compound angle formula. So look at the first question. Now I will just relate the sine 70 cos 80 plus cos 70 sine 80 to one of the compound angle formula, which is sine A plus minus B equals to sine A cos B plus minus cos A sine B. So here I got positive, right? You know that later on we are going to simplify this into A plus B, sine A plus B, where the A will be represented by the 70 and the B is 80. Okay, this is your A, this is your B. So now I'm going to write this expression into sine A plus B, where your A is 70 and the B is 80. Alright, then simplify, sum up the 70 and 80, you got 150. Again, 150, sine 150, you can evaluate it by using the special angle. You can have your Cartesian plane. Okay, and then just measure your angle starting from the positive x-axis. follow the anti-clockwise direction. Here will be the 150. So its basic angle is actually 30 degrees. You can say that this is equals to sine 30, and the sign in front of the sine here, ASTC. At the second quadrant, if your angle is 4 at the second quadrant, the sign of the sine is positive, and so you have a sine 30 as positive sine 30, and you can just evaluate it again by unit circle, triangle, or just memorize the value. That is 1/2. For the question B, you have a cos 105, cos 15 plus sine 105, sine 15. So relate to the formula, the compound angle formula for the cosine. You have cos A cos B plus sine A sine B. So if this is a plus, right, then when you write it in the compound angle, it will be cos A minus B. So we know this can be rewrite into the form of cos A minus B, where the A is represented by the 105, and the 15 is by the 15 representing the B. Okay, so now you can have a 105 minus 50, where this is equals to the cos 90. So for the cos 90, we don't have to use calculator. We can actually get the value of the cos 90 without using calculator by just consider the graph of the cos. Here I try to sketch a graph of cosine, that is a y equals to cos theta from the 0 to 360 degrees. So the maximum value for the cos is 1 and the minimum is -1. For the cos 90, okay, half of the 0 and in between 0 and 360 in the middle, we have 180. And in the middle, in between the 0 and 180, this is 90 degrees. So you can see that now you have the graph when the x equals to 90 degrees, the y will be equals to 0. So cos 90, the answer is 0. For this question, again, without using calculator, we need to find the exact value of the following. Means that, again, without using calculator, you need to relate it with the special angle. The special angle that we have is 30, 45, and 60 degrees. So first question, we need to find sine of the 75. Without using calculator, I'm going to relate the 75. See which of the special angle can be combined with the operation addition or subtraction in order to get 75. So 75, I choose to use the 30 plus 45. That forms the 75. Here you can see this is a compound angle. So I'm using the compound angle formula for the sine, that is a sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. Okay, I expand it using the formula where the A is 30 and the B is 45. So now you can see that now you can get the sine 30 cos 45 by using the either unit circle, triangle, or just memorize. For me, I just memorize the value. Sine 30 is 1/2, and the cos 45 will be set 2/2. Cos 30 will be set 3/2. And the sine 45 will be set 2/2 because it is complementary to the cos 45. Yeah? These two values, sine 45 and cos 45, should be having the same value. Now we simplified it. So we have a set 2 plus set 6/4. Again, do not convert it into decimal because the question just say without using calculator, find the exact value. So you must leave it into the set. Again, for the cos 105, I'm going to relate the 105 to the special angle. Okay, special angle, we got 45 and 60. So 60 plus 45, I got 105. I will rewrite this 105 as a 60 plus 45. Both are the special angle, and then I will expand it by using the compound angle formula, which A represent 60 represent the A and the 45 represent the B. So I have a cos A, cos B. Alright, for the formula for the cosine, the sine plus need to be reversed here, become the negative. Okay, and then sine A, that is 60 degrees, and the sine B. And now all these ratio, we can obtain the value easily because we can memorize it. Okay, cos 60 is 1 over 2, and cos 45, that will be 2 over 2. 660 will be 3 over 2, and the sine 45, same value as cos 45, it is 2 over 2. Okay, so we simplified it, we get a 2 over 4 minus 6 over 4. Okay, you can write it into the 2 minus 6 over 4. Again, this is our answer. So here is a sixth question that about the compound angle formula. Hope that it helps you to understand more about the compound angle formula. Alright, thank you for watching.